Okay, I'm live. I'm listening out because I sat down to go live about 10-15 minutes ago at 1:30, and there's a construction going on at my local library, which is just sort of there, about a 30-second walk that way. In the gardens, and there's been a lot of use of angle grinders and things. So yeah, they were doing a bit of that as soon as I went to press to go live. So then I had to sit here for almost 15 minutes. I think they're done. Don't know. I think they're done. This is the longest it's been since they had started. They usually sort of do it in quick successions throughout the day. So it could start up again a bit later, who knows, but fingers crossed. They won't. I am trying to keep my tits calm and my mood mellow because I need to savor my energy because I have Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Wednesday nights are Dungeons and Dragons night with my friends, and it's all online because COVID. One day we will meet in person and have a proper game. I've only ever one of them I knew before times. I've known for like at least a decade, and they're the one that introduced me to the group, and the other people I only know through online, but we hope to one day be able to meet in person and have an in real life game with our dungeon master, our DM. Scott's here and Chris is here. Hello. And Jen, are you in bed, Jen? See, God, it must be super late for you, Jen, because the last time I went live and you said you were in bed, and it was earlier than this in the day for me. So is it like gone 11 or something where you are? Excuse me, a bit of a frog in my throat. So I didn't really know what I was going to talk about. It's really, really hot here in London. The temperature really jumped up yesterday or Monday. What day is it? Yeah, it's Wednesday because it's D&D day. And it's this room that I'm in is an absolute sun trap where I work. 2/3 of the wall is window and it faces the sun most of the day. So it's a lot. It's like a greenhouse. It really traps the sun. So I've got the window open, but the curtain up. Katie, hello, lovely to see you. Did someone else pop in? It's just everyone saying hello to everyone. Lovely to see you, Katie. And so I keep getting distracted by the chat. I need to not look at the chat for a couple of minutes just while I try and explain my going live. Not that obviously that I need to explain, but yeah, and it's just so hot. I did manage to sort of focus. I had my coffee and got focused this morning, and I managed to cut some Halloween collection pouches. So I did do something, but when it came to sort of sit down and sewing, I've really struggled with sewing this past week because I started my collection on the 1st of September because I'm going to be releasing it on the 1st of October. So it's like I've got a month to sew. And yeah, it's just been really slow going. I've just really struggled with like pain and with just like exhaustion. And now it's really, I haven't slept the last 3 nights because it's really hot. And yeah, we don't have AC, and the temperature went from like 14 degrees and jumped up to like over 30 degrees yesterday, which is like more than double the temperature. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's quite a bit, in the 80s, I think. And it's just there's no rhyme or reason to it. It jumps. So that's the thing, because people in the UK always complain about the hot weather, and it's like, firstly, we don't have AC. Our buildings are built for retaining heat. If that's too loud, let me know and I will close the window, thus creating a hot box in this room, but we will see. Can you still hear me? I'll bring my microphone close. My dulcet tones. And then we don't get any time to acclimatize. Apparently it takes about 2 weeks for your body to acclimatize to a temperature. And, we don't have that. We have really quick like jumps in temperature. We never seem to get like a gradual incline or decline. So yeah, so like I said, it's just jump. Anyway, this is so British, talking about the weather. Basically, the reason I have gone live is because it's hotter than Satan's ass crack and I can't focus. So that's what's happening. But yeah, so I do have a couple of things around me. Oh, before I just posted this, not just, but about an hour ago, posted this on Instagram at the weekend. I treated myself. By treated myself, I meant I cut pouches out for myself as well. It's like, I deserve it. I haven't sewn them. And they're looking more washed out in this light. I've got my ring light there because I've got the curtain up. So, but like, because these two decks look like they belong together. Squid Cake Marseille by Jess Roller over at Coffee with the Fool. Love her, love Brant. But they look like they go together. Ooh, and I love, they're delicious. Hey, Sandra, hello. And they're just such delicious colors. They look like they were made to go together, like right down to even the orange. Look, there's even orange in there. StreamYard throws me off because it flips everything the other way around. But yeah, so this, I cut this out for this one, and I've got like an orange ribbon, and I'm going to put a moon charm. I've got several different moon charms. I haven't decided which one I'm going to put on it yet. But yeah, so that pulls out the orange on the front of the box. Such scrumptious colors. And then this one, the ribbon I've chosen is the same color as that lovely sort of aqua. So I've gone for, and I've got a little aqua heart, enamel aqua heart to stitch on. So I'm like, although I make these pouches for myself for usually so I can take decks out with me, and I think the first one that I made was for my Tarot of the Magical Forest, because I had trimmed it and it was rattling around in its tuck box, and when I was putting that in my bag, it was getting really like, and it was rattling around. And I tried that, like rolling up a bit of paper, a bit of fabric, and putting that in so it didn't shake about so much. And then I got like a little drawstring bag. But again, I sort of have to put a deck in the drawstring bag and then wrap the rest of the bag around the deck. Does that make sense? I'm looking over here because I do still keep some of my decks in drawstring bags. This one's a bad example because it's actually the Deviant Moon and it fits quite well. But you know what I mean? When a deck, you have to fold it over and then you wrap the rest around. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I've just caught my nail on a thing and I'm worried my nail's going to break. So I'm just going to file that. Sorry. There we go. And then I think, I can't remember which deck it was, but I had a deck that came in like a box like this, like a nice, hard, sturdy box. But the thing is, when you put this in your bag, the corners can get really dinged. It happened a bit with my Marshmallow Marseille. I'm looking over there because it's over there. And I didn't want it to get ruined. So then I started making little pouches for not only decks that I didn't have boxes for anymore, but also for ones where I didn't want the nice box to get dinged so that I could travel with them. All this is to say, I don't know, is that I don't know why I've actually made these yet. Oh, the charm fell out of there. It's a little heart. It's really cute. Little enamel heart. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be putting these in my handbag or my backpack and going anywhere. Where am I going? I'm clinically vulnerable. There's a pandemic. I'm stuck indoors most of the time, unless I'm walking the dog at the park or going to a medical appointment at the hospital. I'm not going anywhere. What am I doing? But I was in the mood and I saw the colours and I was just like, yum. So yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know if I'm going to be sewing them up just yet. Obviously, my collection is what's taking precedent at the moment. Anyway, let's have a little look at the dooblies. Not the live chat. This is a live chat. I said I was going to like keep manage my calmness because I get hyper. It's not good. And then I'm exhausted and I have to play D&D later. Conserve the spoons. We're conserving the spoons. So I'm just going to go up and see because I saw quite a few people jumping in and saying hello, which is so lovely. It depends, like different people pop in depending on what time I go live. So Katie popped in. I saw Katie, which was awesome. Gail is here. Don't you guys have AC units? No, we don't. We don't have AC. It's not a thing here. Our buildings are built for warmth, to retain heat. Sandra is here at the Whispering Well. Meow meow meow. Kaz, hello Kaz. That's just unbelievable that you guys just don't buy window AC units, because our buildings don't support AC units. It's not something that really works here. Also, we only need them for a very, very short part of the year. Like, we have little bursts of heat waves, and then the it's usually generally quite bearable the rest of the time. So it's just, you're like gonna. That's also another reason I think why there's not as much investment in AC, because it's not necessary most of the year. So yeah, hotter than Satan's ass crack. Yeah, I wish I could claim that, but I think that's a pretty well known. Or what's the other one? Hotter than Satan's ball sacks. The other one. We would only use them for. Yeah, see, Chris has just said why. I grew up in California, 1960 to 1980 as a child and college age. No air conditioning, even none in cars. Not sure. Yeah, it's interesting. Hello, amethyst, amethysite. I'm probably murdering that. Sorry. I remember working as a nursing assistant while in college and hospital, had no air conditioning. Oh, that's pretty brutal. Like in medical settings. But yeah. And the thing is, I'm in London, and London is its own microclimate because it's a city. It's a huge, one of the biggest cities in the world, obviously. So it gets hotter than the rest of the UK, and it's very smoggy and it's very humid. So I find walking around like Southern California, even like Las Vegas. I've been in Las Vegas towards the end of spring, beginning of summer. I've been in Las Vegas in June before, and I've found that more bearable than London. In fact, I find sometimes being in like California and like Vegas and those kinds of like hotter states, that I have to go outside to warm up because the AC is just always blasting. I get really cold. Like, it's quite common for me whenever I've been over there to be like, oh, I'm just going outside to warm up. Julie, hello. You're working. I hope I'm not distracting you, Julie. Kelly, do you ever take custom orders? I understand if you don't. I'm just in need of a purple square bag from my Bangtan tarot. I have taken custom orders in the past, Katie, but and I was going to open them up last month, and then I ended up putting the shop on holiday because I just needed a break, and my health was very bad, and my more so like my headspace. I was just in a real funk. So I didn't end up opening up those orders, but I do have a list for those who want to go onto it for custom orders, because like first come, first serve. Because when I do open up custom orders, I'll only be opening up a number of slots at a time, because there's only obviously I'm just one person, so I can only sew so much, and I want to be able to sew regular stuff for the shop at the same time. But yes, I will be taking them. I'm not quite sure when that will be now, because I do plan, obviously I'm doing this Halloween collection, which is a number of pouches, all spooky themed pouches. I'm looking over there because they're right there that I've been making, and like spoopy, like cute. It's not going to be like dark and gothy, it's more like spoopy Halloween, but there'll also be like jewelry, like brooches and earrings and that kind of thing. So we will see. And I would like to do a Christmas collection. Ever since I did a Christmas pouch last year, which had a gingerbread man on it. I had like this one little glittery felt gingerbread man that I'd pulled off of a Christmas card a few years previously. And I was like, oh my God, this would be so cute for as a Christmas, to do a Christmas themed collection. I just really like that idea. So I don't know when I'll be opening up, but it will be happening at some point. So let's just have another little. Just lay out the beach towels, put on a swimsuit and dip in and out of the shower gets me through where I can't get to the beach and our pool is crowded. Do you know what? When we had quite a long heat wave last year, and what I do when it's like relentless, I just fill the bath with cool water, and eventually obviously it goes cold, and every like hour I just go and lay in it for a couple of minutes and then get back out again and just air dry. And it works a treat, it really does. And I just try to drink, you know, I stay hydrated. I drink so much water as it is anyway. I think I drank about 8 pints of water yesterday on top of my tea and coffee. If a place doesn't have a HVAC system, I will not rent it. Well, good luck with that in the UK, because you wouldn't be renting anywhere. It's a very different situation here. And the mainland, a lot of huge chunks of mainland Europe are like that as well. Although the hotter countries, like places I've been to, Spain, Portugal, Italy, that kind of, will often, their houses are built to keep cooler. They'll have lots of tiled floors. Like my friend Sabrina, she's Portuguese, and her family home in Mirandela has it's all like marble or like tile flooring. The place she rented when she was at uni in Braga, when I went to visit her, that was all, you know, tile flooring. It's a lot cooler. So it's just different way of life. You know, our buildings, you got to think, a lot of our buildings are very, very old. This building here that I'm in is about 130 years old. The newest building I have ever lived in, I've always lived in Victorian buildings, was 110 years old at the time, and would now be 125 years old now. So this one's 100 and I think this is the late 1890s, late, somewhere between 1890 and 1898. I can't remember the date of this one, but yeah. I'm sweating more than a whore in church. Yeah. I've heard that one before as well. Oh, hello, Diane. Lovely to see you. Joey Luna, Palm Springs is hot. But it's, you know, what we say in the UK, but it's a dry heat though, you know. Oh, wow. I haven't been online in forever. Some of you may remember me as Biffy Rose. Oh, hello. Yes, Liz. And Deanne, hello. Lovely to see you. Goodness me. What just all these lovely people popping in. What a treat. Tammy Pie is here. I need a Freaky Kelly Bear pouch for my Deviant Moon. I will be making Deviant Moon pouches with my Halloween collection, and I'm also aiming to make some Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle pouches as well, because those are quite popular for both the regular edition and the seance edition. So, because it's all spooky themed, right? Totally makes sense. I didn't mean to. No, it's not a put. Okay, don't worry, Katie. You didn't put me on this spot at all. It's absolutely fine. It's not a problem at all. It's something I get asked quite a bit. I don't mind at all. Also, you guys don't put ice in your drinks. I find that so weird. That's another thing. When I'm in the States, like, you are obsessed with ice. I have sensitive teeth, so I can't really handle, if you can hear that, I can't really handle ice in my drinks most of the time. But yeah, the obsession with like ice, and I'm like, and my teeth, I get like brain freeze and my teeth go on edge, and then like topping up the water before I've finished a glass. Like I have a sensitive bladder, TMI. It's a bit like a hamster's bladder, and so I need to keep track of how much I'm drinking so that I can sort of work out, like, if I'm going, especially when I'm in the States, I'm usually road tripping, so I'm going to be driving for lengths of time. I need to know that I can control that I'm not going to pee within the next 30 minutes, you know, if I'm getting on the freeways. Yeah, so when they start filling up your drink before you finished it, I'm like, so whenever I'm in restaurants, I put a napkin over my glass of water, like, please don't fill it until I've drunk it. I need to know how much I'm drinking. But yeah, I do in this summer. I tend to, what I do is, rather than use ice. Some people really like ice in their drink over here in the UK, but generally, again, it's just cultural differences. You know, whenever I've been in like sunny countries like the Mediterranean, Europe, and like Italy and stuff, ice isn't a huge thing either. Again, I really think it's just cultural differences, and there are countries that have very hot weather. Even when I've been in like Cyprus, which is really hot, icy drinks wasn't really, I don't know, that was a couple of decades ago now. But what I do is I've got a big carafe of that I fill with water, and I'll put like cucumber or strawberries or whatever, and I put that in the fridge, and then I'll have that. So I'll have chilled water, but not ice water. And that, I mean, other people might, in the UK might have ice in their drinks, but it's specifically for me, my teeth are too sensitive. So, what do you want to move to London? Fair enough, honestly. Annette, hello. Have you changed? Hang on, Annette Cruz, Project Refined Life. Are you new? I don't recognize your channel name, your account name. It's the crack of dawn here. Usually busy time for me, says Tammy Pie. Scott says I'm in the US and I don't like ice drinks. That's fair enough. Oh, hello, Jamie. You all right? First cup of coffee for the day in hand. Lovely. Betty Flesher. Also warm beer too, right? No, actually, I don't know where the warm beer thing comes from, because us Brits can be a bit fussy about our beer. I have to say, I'm fussy about my beer, and I like a well-pulled pint without too much head, and it must be cold. Although I haven't been to a pub for 18 months at least. I have to, Tammy says that she has to track her fluid intake as well. You live in Arizona, everything needs ice. Fair enough. Yeah, growing up in Germany, we didn't use ice either, see? I think what's really good during the hot summer days is eating frozen grapes. Yeah, I like frozen grapes. They're really nice, aren't they? It's weird. They feel like a real treat, but it's just frozen fruit and frozen blueberries. So, I know I said I was going to, when I did my live chat last week, I said I was going to swap my spooky, my sort of the decks that I've been using recently for my spooky ones, but I didn't get around to it at the weekend. Saturday, I was really unwell. I spent most of Saturday in bed, just really, really wiped out. And then I spent a good chunk of Sunday just doing stuff around the house. So I didn't actually get around to it. And then the past couple of days, I've just been working on my shop stuff. Oh, God, I shouldn't have tried to lift that with one arm. Oh, I'm not that strong. But this afternoon, after I'd cut my pouches, I swapped over to spooky season. I didn't even pull out my more autumnal decks like my Raven's Prophecy and decks like that, because I'm like, from last week, from the 1st of September, like, it's spooky season. I don't care. Everything is awful. Life is difficult, especially now. Put your tree up, put your Halloween stuff out, do whatever makes you happy. Who cares, right? Like, you need to eke some joy out of life right now. Nancy, hello, Nancy. I've got some random comment there. I don't that I can make head nor tail of. A little bit throat froggy. Anyway, so yeah, I've switched over to my spooky and spoopy decks, and actually there's some that I've kept in their boxes. They don't go in my case. So let's have a look. I mean, this might just be really boring because, I think I do this every year. I'm like, oh, I've pulled out my spooky decks. Who wants to see? And for the most part, they're probably the same spooky decks. Tell a lie. I do have I have other editions since last year. One of them being the full-sized Halloween tarot. I bought this to be able to photograph with my my spooky pouches. Let's grab one. Actually, I'm like, I hope it fits. I should probably check, shouldn't I? Because it's a Los Scarabeo. This is a standard size pouch that I do. It fits a lot of decks. So I'm just actually should have checked that. Oh yeah, it's fine. So I bought it for photographing my pouches with, because if you've seen my shop or my Instagram, you'll see that obviously I need to photograph them with a pouch in so people can see what they look like with a deck in. Otherwise they just look, oh God, I'm dropping stuff. Otherwise they just look like a big floppy mess. And it's not very appealing. But how cute are these little cats in witch hat charms? Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's why. So I bought it for business purposes, but there's a but. I'm like, I love it so much. Oh my God, little ghosty. Little, and I mean, I can never work out the way StreamYard switches stuff around, and it's got like a purple inside. So yeah, I've got this, but I've had the mini one for several years, the tin version. And this was the pouch that made me go, oh, I should do a Halloween collection, because this pouch is just the cutest. Purple, orange, and green. Again, the colors look off because of my lighting in here. I trimmed my version and edged it in orange. We got the Matt Haig Fool. Did I put this back in order? No. It just happened. Oh, no, the Three of Pumpkins is next. It just so happens that the Fool is on the top. Oh, you know why? Because I did a video months ago about my favorite Fools from all my deck collection. And this was one of them, because I just love it. And who isn't a Rob Zombie film fan? Well, probably loads of you are not Rob Zombie film fans, but did I say Matt Haig? His name's not Matt Haig. That's the author. And yeah, so I've got the mini version. And the thing is, I've got I kept the edges square because I wanted to keep those cute little stars in the corner. But I have got a corner rounder now that's 3 millimeters. My smallest one previously was 5 millimeters. So, but then I don't want to risk it cornering one of these with it and then not liking it. So I'll leave it as it is. But yeah, I've got the bigger version now, and I love it. Love it. So yeah, it's basically the same. I love this deck. It's so clever. There's a couple of decks, like this other deck here. I've spoken about it before, like every September, October, the Zombie Tarot. It's just a cheap mass market deck. I think I got this for £10 at MCM Comic Con in like 2015, 2016. My version I have covered in red paint and sort of neon yellow, because I wanted it to look like it had actually been through a zombie apocalypse. So all these like dried blood, that's all my edition. And I didn't edge it. I just sort of covered it in. I literally covered it all. I mixed up a dried blood red paint color. Then I stuck my hands in it, rubbed my hands together, and then I picked up this deck and I did this. Oh, actually, did I edge it? I might have edged it in brown with Vintage Photo first, tell a lie. And then I did this and I touched all the cards, and then I left it to dry, and then sort of broke any little bits that were apart. And it worked a treat. It really does look like it's been through a zombie apocalypse. It's real nice. Like, it's really gnarly. And then there's lime green. Can you see? And then I did the same, but splattered it with neon. So it looks like toxic ooze. But this deck is so clever as well. I think for like Halloween Smithwaite based decks, these two, like the mass market, affordable, pretty readily available, the Halloween Tarot and the Zombie Tarot are great. And they both have a retro. I just dropped the second half of the thing. Although one page of my book did come out. It's not the end of the world, though, is it? Let's see. I can always stick it back in with a bit of washi tape or something, couldn't I? Adds to the charm. That's what I tell myself. But yeah, like obviously this one's got the sort of mid 20th century artwork, that sort of atomic age, atomic era type stuff, but it's so clever. So we've got this magician, and he is a scientist, but he does have a cauldron, which I like. And you can see this like body part on the floor, this foot. So he's like, is he the origins of the zombie apocalypse? And it's just the people that did this really did know their stuff. I just love it. It just really tickles me. Let's see some of the kids in this as well. Just really, I love the lovers so much. Star-crossed lovers or what? A zombie and a living being. A bit like Warm Bodies. Ow. Warm Bodies. Let's see. The chariot is like a hearse, and they've got a gun on top of the hearse. and they're like shooting at the zombies. It's just strength is pretty dark. And the box on the ammo is similar to the box with the ammo. Can you see? It's the same kind of thing. But yeah, if you can read Smithwaite, then you can read this. The book's really fun. It's got loads of really fun spreads in it. And yeah, I got it for a tenner. I think it's like up to about £15. I don't know what that is in your Australian or American dollars. But Heather, hello Heather, how are you doing? Oh, it's an half warm. I'm really feeling the warmth now. It gets hotter and hotter, obviously, as the day goes on, because the heat starts to build up. So yeah, this one's just Judgment again. Quite dark, but clever. God, you remember that nuclear threat? I remember in the 80s living under the threat of the Cold War, the nuclear threat, and being shown videos in school on what to do at home in the event of like a threat, like a nuclear threat, like a nuclear alarm. I don't know, like the war alarm they used to send off in the Second World War. The siren, that's the one, not an alarm. And I remember like it was a nuclear family of FNAF. That wasn't a pun. That wasn't pun not intended. So you would see like the dad, it was like 2.4 children, cis like family, obviously it's the 80s. And the like dad has taken the doors off of the frame and taken the mattresses off the bed, and they're like creating this shelter against a wall with the doors and the mattresses, and then you get inside there. If a nuclear bomb goes off, that's not going to do anything. But I don't know if the general public must have been aware of that. I don't know. But I think it was to give people something to do, because there was nothing else you could do. That's it. You're going to be obliterated. You're going to be vaporized, right? So, but yeah, I remember. Who else remembers living under the threat of the Cold War? And I remember like in 1989, 1990, going to an exhibition at the Kew Gardens in Richmond, and seeing an exhibition about climate change and global warming, and watching these videos at this exhibition, where you go into an exhibition and there's a darkened room and there's like seats, and they have like a short video on loop that you can sit down and watch. And I remember just being absolutely transfixed and horrified by this video, and it was all about the deforestation of the Amazon rainforest and acid rain and all sorts of other stuff. And I was like 9 or 10. Ever since then, like, climate has been like such a point of anxiety for me, and yet here we are at the tipping point, at the point of no return, and people are just like, nah. By people I mean the people that can actually stop this, as in big corporations, governments, that kind of thing. They're just like, nah. But I mean, there's a Panini on, and our government are just like, oh, we'll just remove all the mitigations because we've got to learn to live with it. But we'll lock down if hospital cases continue to rise. Hospital cases are continuing to rise because you've removed all the mitigations. Like, if you're worried about the NHS, maybe like don't overload it. Just a thought. But it's because hashtag Tories don't give a shit. Anyway, let's not go there today. So yes, I've got my mini Halloween tarot, which was the tarot deck I would take with me during sort of mid to end September and through October, back when I used to, in the before times, when I used to actually go places and see people and do things and go to bars and restaurants and cafes and to the cinema and to friends' houses. I'm fine. So yeah, so now I've got the full size version. So yeah, basically what I was saying is I bought this to squirrel side quest. I bought the larger version to use for photographs for my Etsy shop, but have like it's gone straight on on my tarot trolley. I'm pointing to, like, you can see it. I have it on the bottom shelf of my tarot trolley, with the top shelf is my altar. And it's going to be the deck that I use for the most part for those drawers. The other one I'm going to be using the most is totally going to be this. I'm just so obsessed. I haven't been able to stop shuffling it. It is properly, like, it's properly got a riffle shuffler's bow in it now. For those who were horrified in my last live chat where I riffle shuffled it and immediately got a bend in that shape. You can see I've been riffle shuffling this. It's got a bit of a bow. I feel like it gets some personality. I've put my stamp in it when it's got a bit of a bow. But yeah, this zombie tarot. So I've got my zombie tarot, my 2 Halloween tarots. And then I've got I've got a deck that my husband bought me for my, unbeknownst to me. Actually, he also backed this for me, keeping me in my tarot habit. I don't really have, I haven't got that many decks in the last 3 years since my depth year in 2019. But yeah, he got me the Tarot del Toro, which I had such a love affair with over the winter because I got it last November. Again, it's got the riffle shuffler's bow. It doesn't really show up when I show it on the camera. You can kind of see that it's like a little bit banana shaped. But this, I love the woodblock art style. I loved Guillermo del Toro. I love his films. I love him. I love that he and Doug Jones met each other early on, and that he uses Doug Jones in his films. I love that Toro, Guillermo del Toro. I love that the devil is Hellboy. It's really, really clever. There are some choices I would have made differently. Like the Queen of Goblets, they've used like the this isn't from any film, but it's inspired by the comic and the TV show The Strain. And I'm like, you probably could have gone with a different choice there. But for the most part, I think it's really, really clever. And they've got like the Pale Man in here, the Angel of Death. They've got like the literal like Golden Army soldiers from Hellboy 2, the Golden Army. You know, it's so fun. Hang on, let's see, because it's a pip deck, so it's and obviously the discs are cogs. Again, very, very Guillermo del Toro. We have one of the classic vampires as the King of Goblets from The Strain, which I did finally manage to finish watching. We've got Guillermo himself as the magician, which is perfect. I've not seen oh my god, my brain just what's it called? I was going to say Only Lovers Left Alive, which it is not. That's the vampire film with Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston. Oh crap, it's on my thingy to watch list because I'm saving it for October. Hang on, my stuff, my watch list, movies. The Shape of Water. I didn't even need to. I before I even looked it up. Yeah. Oh, Julie, thank you. Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah, the Faun is in here because the actual translation is the Labyrinth of the Faun, but they called it Pan's Labyrinth in English. He's in here. We've got the King of Wands. We've got the here we go. The Emperor is the father from Hellboy 2. The elven father. Sorry, should have made that clear. But yeah, it's just. I love the skulls in some of the goblets. We have Ophelia from Pan's Labyrinth as the star. We have Edith as Temperance from the Crimson Peak. The costuming in Crimson Peak just sends me. It's just amazing. I love it so much. We have the Pale Man as the Hermit. So yeah, I love it. I love it. So I'm looking forward to and here the Valet of Goblets looks a lot like the Master from The Strain, because his mouth like splits, doesn't it? Because he's like uber vamp. So yeah. Anyway, I'll end up showing you. I think I did a walkthrough of this. If you want to see all of the cards and me just absolutely just go gushing over it. Katie, go. Lovely to catch you. You too, Katie. And buenos sueños, my dear. I hope you have lovely dreams. Okay, so that's that one. So I've got this. An oldie but a goodie. The Bohemian Gothic Tarot. Oh, I remember the day I got this. I think there's a video when I unboxed this. The excitement is palpable. Let's move this out of the way. I have I can never, is it the second or third edition? I can never remember. 2013. This is the third edition with many reworked and altered images. I love the back of this one. I love that the Wheel of Fortune is a tarot reader. Straight off the bat there. I love the blue tone. I've never edged this deck. I've never had the kahunas to edge this one because it's so precious to me. But again, this is one of those, it's kind of spoopy. It has a Hammer horror-esque vibe to it. And or like those really early, I think I've said this before, really early horror films where you can tell that the scene has been filmed during the daytime, but because it's black and white, the sky looks like a grey-green. The original Nosferatu is like that. The original Nosferatu, have they remade it? I don't think so. Or are they going to remake it? And that's why I'm saying the original. But Nosferatu, I rewatched for the 12th millionth time on Friday. I had a watch party with a friend of mine. We watched What We Do in the Shadows, the film that the TV show is spun off. And you in the US, you folks have the third season of What We Do in Shadows TV show. Yeah, it's a BBC show, and yet we have to wait till like November or December, which is so not fair. But I just love there's quite a large prevalence of creepy children in this one as well. Beautiful Victorian and possibly Edwardian. I mean, this to me reads very turn of the century, early 1900s Edwardian, looking at their hair and their dressing night dresses. For those of you clothing and costuming history nerds out there, let's just see. And everyone's got this sort of sickly pallor, which I enjoy because I just like spooky stuff. I don't know if you've noticed. So I like some. I'm trying to find some. There we go. Here he is. I love this so much. It just tickles me. This werewolf is just, and she doesn't even look that freaked out. She's sort of like, oh, a little bit like, So let's see other more creepy like, I mean, it's all just a little left of field. It's a little off, and I love it. Yes, it's a classic. It shuffles really nicely as well. Bubba Studios do really nice card stock. There's another one with a wolf. Gotta love the wolves. The moon, howling at the moon. See, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. The Seven of Wands. This one always makes me think of Kelly Fitz at The Truth in Story because she always calls him her little friend. I remember when she did her unboxing of this video years ago when she got her copy, and she instantly fell for this guy, and she calls him her little friend. Look at this kid. She's sneaking off with a grimoire. More creepy. I like so many creepy children. It's amazing. But I'm sure, here we go, Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein in the background there, I'm guessing. Victor Frankenstein and his monster. So can you see what I mean? It has this lots of Victorian and Edwardian imagery, traditional imagery, but then it goes into sort of that like early era of horror and then into sort of Hammer vibe as well. So yeah, it's a great, I know not a lot of people like this Judgment card, but I do. Speaking of Nosferatu, he looks very Nosferatu-esque, doesn't he? So yeah, I have to, this is the thing, I'm a spooky all year round type of person. Again, I don't know if you've noticed, but there comes a point in the sort of very end of winter, beginning of spring, where I force myself to put most of my spooky or spoopy decks away because I like that excitement of getting them out again come autumn. Does that make sense? And I do generally sort of I do quite seasonally pick decks as well. So yeah, let's have a look through the chat. Let's see. Wow, there's quite a lot of chat going on there. Okay, here we go. I'm back up to where I was. Tammy Pie said, yay, spooky decks. I remember that one. In the Metro Phoenix area, it's dry and hot, but northern Arizona has much colder temps. So Katie said, Katie's gone to bed now, but I'm so excited to get the Star Spinner out. Those colours are perfection for springtime, of course, because those in the southern hemisphere are going into spring whilst we're going into autumn. So, yeah. I am looking for a sleepy time lullaby-themed tarot, if there is one, for my bedside locker. I find the Nicoletta Ciccoli has a kind of sleepy time feel to it because it's very dreamlike and very soft and very like lots of, that deck some people hate. It's a very Marmite deck. People who seem to love it or hate it. And it actually has quite a creepy feel to it. Again, it's one of the decks I didn't pull out this autumn because I'm trying to not get overwhelmed with too many deck choices because it can get a bit like, oh my God, how do I pick? So Slytherin, says Joey Luna. I wonder what that was in reference to. Maybe the zombie tarot? Oh, the pouch. Now I've seen Sandra say, I love those cat charms. See, Nancy said the anticipation of getting out of Halloween spooky decks is such fun. See, she gets it. She knows before I'd even she typed that before and even just said what I said. Yeah, I said Matt Haig, and then I was trying to think of the clown actor. What's his name? I'm gonna try. I always hang on. What's his name? It's Sid Haig. I don't know why I said Matt Haig. I cannot retain information lately. It's terrible. It's embarrassing. I used to pride myself in having an excellent memory, and it's just rotted over the course of the pandemic. So yeah, Sid Haig. I mean, Kathy. Hello. My daughter stole my zombie tarot deck. I deck destroyed it too. Yay for deck destruction. By destruction, I just mean pretty heavy mods. The trolls are strong this morning. Yeah. Let's get some trolls out of there. Let's see. Diane says, I have the Jack-o'-lantern tarot on order. I've not heard of that one. For my sour knapsack. Heather, I saw Heather popping in. Sorry, Rona. Hello, Rona. So I'm just trying to read back the... Poor Amanda is melting. She's just got back from town. Gail, I don't know if Gail's still here. He wanted to show the Moon Baby tarot. I did show a few. I did a quick sort of live walkthrough of it on my last live, but there's like tons of videos out there already. Well, not tons, but there's already quite a few videos out there sharing it. If you want, like mine was just a sort of, I need to unbox this right now. There's proper walkthroughs if you want to see what it really looks like. Mine's a bit sort of naff. Let's see. I love Crimson Peak and Pam's Labyrinth, says Sandra. Yeah, I know you're a Del Toro, because I know you got the Del Toro tarot, didn't you, as well? Meow, 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 meow. I put pastel colours on the edges. It looks cool, reflects the colours of the deck. Which deck was that, Tammy Pie? Sandra asks if what we do in the shadows is worth a watch. Whether you're talking about the film or if you're talking about the show, yes and yes. Now, I'm a massive fan of the original film by Taika Waititi and like Jermaine Clement and all that crowd. Please don't start. I'm going to start up again. Can you hear me okay? But wow, that's like extra. Oof. I might see if I can close the window a little bit. Hold on. Oh, just never-ending noise. London life, inner city life. So yeah, I'm a massive Taika Waititi fan. The first thing I'd ever heard of him or seen him in was What We Do in the Shadows, which he like wrote and directed with a team of people. And obviously, because people don't generally write and direct things on their own unless they're Bo Burnham. And the it's really, really funny. It's a mockumentary. And it spawned a spin-off TV show called Wellington Paranormal, which I've not been able to find on any of my streaming services. I'm hoping to be able to get a hold of it legally somehow at some point. And I mean, I don't know if there's a DVD, but I might have to just order the DVD. But I loved that. So I came to the TV show having a deep love and adoration for the original vamps in the film, which is set in New Zealand, is set in Wellington, hence the spin-off Wellington Paranormal. The TV show features on 4 different vampires based in I think it's not Long Island. Is it Long Island? I can't remember. Or Jersey, like Jersey. I can't remember. But just outside of New York City, on an island. And I was a bit worried. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And it took me a couple of episodes to warm to it and to warm to the new vampires. But then I loved it. And I've actually since rewatched all of the episodes of both seasons. And I can't even pick a favorite. I love that they've got a psychic vampire in there this time. I love that they've got a woman in there as well this time. So they've really mixed it up. It's funny. I mean, I love Matt Berry. Ever since I saw him, the first thing I think I ever saw Matt Berry in was probably Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. He's obviously also done The Mighty Boosh, The IT Crowd, a whole bunch of stuff, The Toast of London. It's just Year of the Rabbit. I have a soft spot for him. And then yeah, it's just really funny. And then when I found out that Doug Jones was going to be in the first season, I was like, okay, I definitely have to watch this because I am a hardcore dyed-in-the-wool Doug Jones fan ever since Hocus Pocus, where he plays Eddie. I love him so much, so much. And he plays the Baron, and he's hilarious. He's perfect. So yeah, it is so worth watching all of it. But I would say start with the mockumentary so you get a feel for it. There's a little bit of difference in humor, but for the most part, I think because the majority of the vamps in the TV show are British, you're getting that. So you're still getting that kind of humor, and obviously Jermaine Clement and that Taika Waititi was involved in, I think, some of the first series, but Jermaine Clement's taken on board a lot more of the sort of reins on it. So if you like Flight of the Conchords, if you like New Zealand humor, if you like Taika Waititi's humor, you'll probably enjoy it. I really enjoy Kiwi humor. Kiwi humor feels like the dryness of British humor with a little bit of piss takingness of northern, like of the dryness of southern UK with the piss takingness of north of the border, north of Watford, UK. That's the joke about north of England being north of Watford, for those in the know. and then because it's in New Zealand, then it just sort of goes slightly left of field and has this like bizarreness to it. It's just, I just love it. So yeah, this show has that as well. Anyway, I just spoke for like forever about What We Do in the Shadows. Meow, meow, meow. Victorian Edwardian era has to be my favourite eras in history, says Gail. I really like Victorian and Edwardian aesthetic with both decorating. I prefer mid Victorian decorating. Anything too close to the Regency period is too frou-frou. Anything too close to the end of the Victorian period is too frou-frou. There's this nice little sweet spot in interior design, interior decorating in the Victorian era, which is just, it's not too over the top. But like clothing wise, oh my goodness, for women's wear, that very end, like those 1890s to like 1910, chef's kiss. Love it. You get the re-emergence of the leg of mutton sleeves, which were popular in the 1830s. You get the S shape. You get the Gibson girl. You get all that gorgeous. So you get the pigeon-breasted blouses as you go to the Victorian era. I love it. So beautiful. So beautiful. Anyway, it's my fashion history nerd coming out. Oh dear. Boop. Somewhere in time, Taro. Hello. So let's see. I don't know who this guy's coming back all the time. Thank you, Sandra. Sorry, I hadn't seen because my daughter is in London now, has been there since August 19th, will be there till September 24th to work. She loves it. Oh wow. Okay, cool. If they say coffee for coffee, it's my favorite Long Island accent. You live in Long Island. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is Long Island, I think. So married someone who had that accent too. It was like one of those bears where you press a paw to make them talk and kept saying cough. I don't know what that is. Oh, hi, Billy's cough. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was reading your comment. What is this? Like, just, what is with this? Someone wants attention. Harvey, did your mummy not love you enough, darling? Oh dear, I don't know how. Hang on, how do I delete? It says I can only put them in timeout or block them, and they're already blocked, so we'll just have to. They can't post comment anymore. So anyway, yeah, spooky decks. I've got the Tarot de Marseille purple car. It's my version is very chunky because hang on. Oh, he obviously just wants attention, poor bastard. Anyway, so my version is backed with a sort of rose gold brushed metallic backing paper. I edged it in sort of a pinkishy reddy color, and that was just to match the pink and the red of the sort of intestines or umbilical cords. I believe they're meant to be umbilical cords in this. This is a very suggestive card. So I know, Amanda. Hang on, I have an idea. Let's see. Hang on a minute. Let me go in and see myself within my own YouTube channel. And it will show me being live, which is going to be very meta. Let me just there we go. Silencio. Hang on. Let's see. I've tried, but he's obviously got, I don't know. I'm just checking in my, I've hidden him. Oh. I don't know how to block. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I've reported him as well. It must be really bored. Like, don't you have anything? if you want to find people on OnlyFans, I suggest you go to OnlyFans. Anyway, don't feed the trolls. So yeah, so this is my Tarot de Marseille par Polka. It's not really a Marseille, because, you know, if I show you, like, for example, let me find like a, you know, that's not how the 3 of batons would usually be arranged. So it's very strange. Like it's like a Marseille inspired type deck. I love the majors on this. The faces always look a bit annoyed, which I really enjoy. It's quite funny. It's very macabre. It's very tongue in cheek. I fear he'd probably just pop up again, because some people just are desperate for attention, or just don't want people to have nice things, which is, yeah. Oh dear. So yeah, it's spooky. Look, the cups, blood. I'm going to open my window again now, because I'm really sweating, and they seem to have stopped. Yeah, they seem to have stopped drilling, which is awesome. So it's yeah, Joey, it's a really interesting take on Marseille. It's very creepy. It's not for the faint-hearted. So, for example, the death card, I don't know, is very creepy. So I want there to be sort of the glare. That's literally just the glare off my laptop. I've turned my ring light line. But, like, okay, this horse has stakes in its eyes. So if you don't, you know, you have been warned. You know, I'm a vegan and an animal lover, but I take it in the manner in which it's intended, which is it's meant to be very tongue-in-cheek and kind of, you know. So there's another horse that has been flayed. It's had all of its skin removed, and it's like just a muscular. Let me see if I can find it. It's pretty gruesome. Is it going to be the very last card? Oh no, it must have swung past it. Hang on. Where is my scary horsey? Where's it gone? How am I not spotting it? What the hell? Oh my god. My eyes. There's the pokey stick-eyed horse. Did I take the card out? I don't remember taking the card out. Where is he? Sorry, this is really boring. I'm just trying to find the... No idea. How bizarre. Oh, there he is. Oh my god. He was right there all along. This horse has no skin. Oh my god. StreamYard twists my melon. So yeah, so I have that one. What other spooky tarots? I have a couple of other spooky tarots. I've got the Deviant Moon out for a change, because I haven't had that one out for a wee while. Because I tend to opt for, so the Trionfi della Luna, which I've got over in the corner there, because I use it for photographing for my shop. But that's a spooky deck, isn't it? An anti-hug in a deck. So there's that one. Yeah, Deviant Moon, which I'm sure a bunch of you have all seen. Although I see that now loads of people have the Paradoxical, which is slightly smaller apparently than this version. The Trionfi della the Deviant Moon is interesting because it's very just ignore him. Sandra is obviously wants attention, so don't give him it. So yeah, it's weird, yeah, because it's got a weird shape. Like if I compare it to the you know, like the Halloween, it's a little bit slimmer. As you can see, the white of a tiny bit slimmer, and then obviously taller. So it's an interesting shape, which is why I have my own. It has its own pattern for pouches because it doesn't quite fit in like my standard pouch size. So. So there's that one. And what else? Oh, Antique Anatomy, which is one that I got this year. Murder of Crows and Tarot Z might have to come out. Murder of Crows. I don't know if I've heard of that one, Tammy. Murder of Crows Tarot. Have I? I know there's the Crows. There's the Crows Tarot, the Crows Magic Tarot. There's a Crow Raven's Dream Tarot, which is I guess slightly different. But yeah, so the Antique Anatomy, and everyone was like busting the chops of this one because the cardstock's quite thin. But oh my god, it just, excuse me, shuffles like a dream because of that. It's one of my best cardstock. So when I was kind of dreading it, I was really worried it was going to be like, you know, I thought it was just going to be like paper and that I wouldn't even be able to riffle shuffle it, but it's fine. So yeah. But yeah, I love the like creepiness of it. And again, that Victorian sort of spooky, more spooky than spoopy. And I've said before, I feel like this is the deck that Vanessa Ives would use in Penny Dreadful rather than the one they actually made for her character in the show, which is like, it has those beautiful purple backgrounds, but actually it's not like super, it's not super, what's the word? Tarot-y from what I've seen. And I know it was available for a certain amount of time. I think it's out of print now, but yeah. But this one, I feel like Vanessa Ives would use this. It's a pip deck, and the one in the show is a pip deck. So yeah. Look at this. Spooky. And this makes me think of the catacombs in Paris, which I visited. God, it'll be 9 years ago in January. Where's the oh, there it is. I'm just going to find the pouch that I had it in. It was right in front of me. Okay, makes my HSP go through the roof. We'll chat. I don't know what HSP is, but you take care. I didn't like the tarot deck used in the show, and I'm a huge fan of the show. Yeah, I stupidly didn't finish watching. I saw the first episode of season 3. And then I sort of went, I can't remember why I stopped watching it. I think I got into a different show. And by the time I'd gone back to watch it, it had gone off of like Netflix or wherever I was watching it. I was so annoyed and it's never come back. So one day I'm hoping I'll get a chance to finish Penny Dreadful. Although I do think the first season was probably my favourite out of the 2 that I did see. So I don't think I could go down into the catacombs, says Heather. I'm not great in enclosed spaces. I get quite claustrophobic and a bit panicky. And I actually found once I was in the actual catacombs, I was fine. What I found really difficult was the actual sort of going down all the steps and then along all these little narrow tunnels that you actually have to crouch down to get through into the actual catacombs themselves. Once you get into the catacombs where all the skeletons, all the skulls and everything are stored, sort of the ceilings become a little bit more vaulted. They're not huge. They're not like, you're not got loads and loads of them. Some of them are taller than others. But yeah, it's an experience, and it's you can have a guided tour and stuff like that. And it becomes a bit more like a bit of a museum. There are little areas where they have sort of museum-y bits and examples of rock, and they talk about the geology and stuff like that. It's really interesting. So, but yeah, if you ever get a chance, I highly, highly recommend it. My husband and I, we went in over the course of a Valentine's weekend with his band, because they were actually his old band, because they had a gig in Paris, so we went a few days early because it was also sort of the week of Valentine's, and we did we in the space of 2 days we did the Pantheon, Père Lachaise Cemetery, and the catacombs. We were there for like 5 days, but a couple of other days were spent doing other bits and bobs in Paris. But yeah, we spent 2 days back to back just looking at spooky shit, which is one of my favorite things to do when I'm on holiday. So yeah, it was really cool. The El Goliath Tarot, I have the 2nd edition, says Somewhere in Time Tarot. What's that about the El Goliath, Caroline? Narrow tunnels, yikes. It's like if you could go down into the pyramids. I have been down into some of the pyramid, like the pyramids. My sister used to live in Cairo. She was engaged to an Egyptian, a half Egyptian guy, and his dad was I don't know, some vaguely important person. And so we went to, you could actually, from her rooftop terrace, you could see the pyramids of Giza. So my mum had been before and visited. This was in Christmas 2004. So it would have been the Christmas over when there was that Boxing Day tsunami. I remember in, where was it? Was it Thailand? I can't remember now. So that was it's like very memorable holiday, obviously, as well as being in Egypt. So yeah, we got to go into some of the smaller tombs, and there was this one tomb where there was the sort of exit shaft for the soul. And what they had done is there was a rope and then little wooden slats nailed in along, and you had to hold onto the rope and you could lower yourself down into the tomb. And honestly, it's one of the few places where I literally I felt like I was buzzing with energy. It was the weirdest feeling. I think I spoke about this in a spooky live I did with Lavender Moon last October, and it was just this, I can't describe the feeling. It was this, I've had a feeling like that during one of the tarot readings I had almost 20 years ago as well, but it was this really buzzy feeling. It was amazing. So let's see what else. The Primordial Tarot deck. Oh, you're talking about, Carolyn, you're talking about decks that you want to get out for this season. That makes sense. Okay, let's see. Rose Honey Ritual. Hello. There is a limited version with some red. What's that for, Rose Honey Ritual? Which tarot deck is? Oh, is that the Deviant Moon? Maybe. I don't know. Relative Tarot. Just seeing people talking about not being very good in tunnels, which is perfectly understandable. I'm just going to turn this background because I feel very pink. It's still on USA Netflix. What, Penny Dreadful? That's so not fair. How is that fair? Been using the Tarot of the Haunted House. It shuffles like butter and is so accurate and on point tarot reading, on point in readings. I couldn't get into that one. I remember when that one was released a few years ago, and it was very I don't know, it feels very shiny Hollywood people in it. I don't know, it didn't oh, the 3rd season, says Rose Honey Ritual. Edged mine in Rotten Pumpkin Orange. What an excellent description. Rotten Pumpkin. El Goliath 2nd edition isn't as interesting to me as the first one, so I haven't gotten it. I like the really large cards for the 1st edition. Oh, is it smaller, the 2nd one? Was the tsunami in India? No, it wasn't India. I think it was Thailand. Oh my God, Heather. I love a pun. I love a good pun. Oh, Murder of Crows has some red. Okay. There it is. So, oh, hey, Candy, you all right? Sat in the car. Oh my God, you're in the heat in the car. Bless you. And you have signal, which is pretty yay. So that's cool. So I've got, what other tarot decks? I've got one more spooky tarot deck for the season. See, I didn't pull them all out. I didn't pull all the autumnal and spooky decks out. Oh dear, sweating cobs. The other one is my Le Tarot Noir, which was this was a very much a destroyer of decks moment. I trimmed it, and then I realized I trimmed the wrong border. I should have trimmed the border on the outside, not the inside, because it slightly chops off the bottom of the writing and the top of the number on the hang on, there we go. So you'll see one with a but it's still readable, so it's fine. And then I edged it in alternating shades of brown and beige, because I didn't want it all to be one color. And then I really I took some of the cards and I really sort of dinged it up and like bent the cards, because the problem I had with this deck was that not only was it too new and shiny looking, but it was also too, like, the cards were huge. The gilding was very shiny. It was all very much like, oh, I'm a bit scared to use this. So I found that cutting off those borders made it easier for me to manage. It did fluff up a bit. It did sort of puff up and get a bit thicker, but that's fine. And yeah, just sort of really manipulating the cards helped me sort of make it shuffleable, because I like to be able to riffle shuffle a deck. But I have since obviously understood, I have worked out since having my deluxe Toth tarot, I've since worked out how to like side shuffle a bit more easily. So, but you know, it's done now and it is easier. It's better for spreads because it's smaller, because otherwise you try and do a 9-card box spread even and it just takes up so much space. But it is alien looking, isn't it? I love that it's not the end of the world for you when trimming decks go. But yeah, it was sort of like, oh, well, here we go. You just go with it. And the thing is, this did go out of stock. This did go out of print. Then it came back. And then I think it might have gone out of print again. I don't know. But it just has that very, what's his chops? Tim Burton-esque kind of feeling to the artwork, doesn't it? It's very cute. Trying to find the people cards or the creature cards, just because they're really amusing. The face and they're like they're really fun. It's quite glossy cardstock, which is a bit frustrating. I'm not a fan of super. Oh yeah, the devil. And these have a super like sort of Studio Ghibli, Princess Mononoke kind of vibe to them. So those are the tarot decks, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 oracle decks and a couple of Lenormands. The Lenormand, I've got our Robin Toadstool Tarot. He sent me his little Norman's Lenormand. So I've got that, which is just really cute. This bear card, oh my god! And that's to go with my my Squid Cake Marseille, my Moon Baby, and this. They're like my trio. They're just, the colours work really well together. So that one, though that's not really spooky, it's more sort of autumnal in my mind. Is the deck still print? I think it. I'm not 100% sure. It seems to sort of come in and out of stock. It's very rare. Did you get the Tower of the Abyss? No, I didn't. And I was really out of the loop. I didn't even realize it was a thing until I saw videos started being posted on it. I'm not really in the like, generally as a rule, I'm not massively in the tarot loop. I don't watch a huge amount of walkthroughs anymore. I don't really pay attention to Kickstarters. You know, obviously I heard about Brand's Kickstarter because I know Brand, but you know, otherwise I don't necessarily see what's coming out, and that's deliberate because my collection is huge and I'm trying to downsize it, not add more. So that's why in the last 3 years my deck purchasing, and even most of the decks that I've received in the last 3 years that I've received as gifts, for Christmas and birthdays and anniversaries and that kind of thing, rather than me actually buying them most of the time. Another, obviously, Lenormand / oracle. I mean, I did a video on how to use this as a wrong way on how to use this Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle as a Lenormand as well, where I show substitutions for the Lenormand cards. Some of them are like for like, they're straight up the same, and then some of them obviously you have to be a bit creative with. But yeah, this deck, I've often spoken about my love for this deck, and again, this is for me perfect for 9 card portrait spreads. These are not particularly spooky ones, actually. I'm showing here. This is not spooky, but mostly it's kind of spooky. Oh, there we go. There's a pitchfork, and a witch's hat, and a poison. There we go. And a cauldron. There we go. Anecdote. Chalice, which is you recognise from the Triomphe de la Luna. It's the same kind of cup. Spider. Sorry, I know some people don't like spiders. So yeah, I love this one. And this is usually out most of the year, but I did put it away a few months ago because, again, I want to enjoy getting the deck out again. I love the, Le Tarot Noir is French. I wish I could speak and read French so that I could read the book, but there we go. So tiny, so cute. Yeah, there is now more of a sort of this kind of size version, or I think it's even bigger than this, like a playing card size. Which is available in both the standard and the seance. Is it called the seance version, the bluishy grey version? And then obviously Mildred Payne's Oracle of Black Enchantment. I have the original version from 3 years ago. I don't have the pumpkiny orange or the blood moony one. And this deck just tickles me so much. Comes with some like cabinet cards, which I just keep with the title just on the front whenever I use it. And yeah, it's all in landscape, and it's based off of those original woodcuts. You can actually, if you look back in time, you'll see there are literal woodcuts that are very similar to this style, and it's just so funny. I mean, I know there's a woman being burned alive, but at the same time, it's just very amusing. These are the kind of mermaids I like, the ones that will fuck your shit up. Look at this. I mean, dancing on the grave. Look at this for a good time. They're having a whale of a time. Witches Sabbat. Someone's literally kissing Satan's ass. Or devil's ass. I think there's an exorcism going on here. It's just too much. I love it. I just love it. It's just fucking weird. Jumping over the fire. All those things that witches apparently get up to on their sabbats. Some witches cooking some children. I don't know. It's just this bit of astral projection going on here. And there's a digital book, a PDF that you can print off for the meetings. You have the blood red one. That's so cool. Oh dear, I am sweating cobs, even with that window open and the curtain up. Oh, got a right dab on. Okay, let's see. Where Studio Ghibli rocks. Would be wonderful if they did a Tarot Ghibli. Yeah, that would be very cool. Gee, those are huge cards. They're even bigger than the Druidcraft deck. Yeah, my Druidcraft, I've just put that away. But I've trimmed my Druidcraft. It's a lot smaller now. Which was the deck with the little teddy bear just shown? Oh, sorry, that was Robin of Toadstool Tarot's Norman's Little Lenormand. That one. It's a Lenormand deck. It's very cute with this scythe. Has a real like 70s feel to me. I don't know. Let's see some of my child balloon. Letter. The flowers or the bouquet. And it's that lovely linen cardstock because it shuffles it like a dream. A rider. It's just really cute. It just has a certain sort of naivety and sweetness about it. That's the page I'm on, Kelly Bell. I love the decks I have, and if I watch walkthroughs, I get too tempted, but the cupboard is full. Then I got a little, oh, hang on, a little Red Tarot newsletter. Yeah, I saw that. I actually just deleted the newsletter. The thing is, though, I've spoken about this. Like, I used to get, there was a phase where I went through real FOMO, which I never used to have because, you know, I got my first tarot deck in like 1997. And it was, I only had like a couple of decks for years. It was only like, obviously a lot of people say they sort of get into Tarot Tube. And, you know what happens a lot of the time. We end up just buying, we get FOMO and we want all the decks. And also I think because I have a channel and I was doing a lot of unboxings and walkthroughs, and I was like, well, I should get that because people are like, what do you think of this deck? What do you think of this deck? Or are you getting this deck? And it was partly FOMO, and it was partly also like, well, clearly I need to make a walkthrough because everyone gives a shit what I think about those fucking decks. Like, you know, like no one cares. Who cares what I think? I chat shit most of the time anyway. And yeah, so but for years I didn't have this FOMO thing because it wasn't such a thing, right? And now after doing the depth year in 2019, and then, you know, having an unintentional depth year in 2020 due to not working for a good chunk of the year, I just sort of got over my FOMO. It just sort of, I've got back to the point where I can look at a tarot deck and go, oh, that's nice, and not need to own it. It's very rare. I don't watch a huge amount of them just because I feel like if it catches my eye, or I see a lot of people talking about it and they're saying how interesting it is, or there's something interesting or special about it or different about it, I'll check it out. But for the most part, I'm like I've stopped really watching walkthroughs of like Marseille decks for the most part, like traditional historical Marseille decks, because there was a time where I wanted to have all the historical Marseille decks. And actually, you know, I've got a CBD Marseille and a Jean Leblay. I'd maybe want a Dodal or a Gazman, but it's not the end of the world that I don't have them. I still use my, you know, for the most part, I think it's because I've been reading Marseille with my Tarot Classic, or my like Marshmallow Marseille, or my Tarot Saran. I keep looking over there because they're over there. Because, you know, they're the ones I always grab, so why do I need another one? So yeah, I just sort of, I don't really watch those anymore because I'm just like, well, I'm not in the market. And if I just feel like I just want to have a look at something historical just for funsies, I'll watch it, but I don't feel that I need to own it anymore. So, but I think I had to go through that like depth year, because I know a lot of people, I'm going to be a little bit controversial here, because people say, oh, a depth year doesn't mean a no buy year. It just means, you know, you sort of dig deep down into a thing and da-da-da-da. But if you look at the post from the person who originated the idea of a depth year, and it was nothing to do with tarot. I can't remember where the blog post is. It's lost in my, I don't know, where I don't think I even have the link to it anymore. But I'm sure it could be found somewhere. This person literally spoke about not buying new things. They literally spoke about because they liked board games, and they're like, I won't buy any new board games. I will play the board games I already have at home. I have plenty. I will not buy new books. They had loads of books, because collecting books, buying books and reading books are two different things, right? I will not buy any new books. I will read the books on my damn shelf, and I won't buy any new books unless I've read them, because otherwise, why are you buying more books when you've got books? He's like, I won't, you know what I mean? And he was more about, if you're going to study something, you can go deep with it and using what you have. If you're going to if you want to get into watercolor painting and you already own a set of watercolors and brushes, don't go and buy more watercolors and brushes. Paint with what you've got. It was the idea of literally the idea of using what you have. And then, of course, the tarot community gets a hold of the depth year thing. And they're like, oh, you know, I'm doing it. Just doesn't mean it's no buying. It just means I'm going to study Rider-Waite-Smith. So I'm just going to buy a small selection of Rider-Waite-Smith books and decks and da-da-da-da, which is fine. Like, that's absolutely fine. Like, there's no depth year like police saying, oh, you can't do that or you shouldn't do that. But I feel like a lot of people freaked out at the idea of not buying any decks for a year or any books for a year, and so gave themselves caveats, because they're like, well, if I just ban myself for a year, I know I'll break it, so I've put these caveats in place, or and that's fine. But I do feel like the original intention of the depth year got a little diluted by the tarot community. Because when I did the depth year, and no, this is not me going, oh, I'm better than everyone, but I legit was like, I'm not buying new books, I'm not buying new decks, I didn't buy any art or craft supplies for a fucking year, folks. Do you know how hard that is for me? And I did it. The sense of achievement and just using what I fucking had. That limitation fosters creativity is true. It really did. I used the tarot books that I had. I read the tarot books that I had. I used the decks that I had. It was amazing. It was very liberating. I wasn't watching walkthroughs. I wasn't involved. I wasn't looking at Kickstarters. It was so liberating after like several years of just really amassing decks. It just felt very freeing, and I did it. I did it, and I think I proved to myself that I don't need all these things. I don't need them. I might want them, and there's nothing wrong with wanting them. And if you do a depth year and you build in caveats, that's fine. But all it was to say is that depth year was actually literally the point of the original depth year by the person who coined the phrase and wrote their blog post about it. Literally was talking about not buying new things and using what you have. But yeah, I really got through a load of my art supplies, and it was great because I had to just make do, and I made interesting art choices with my art, and interesting choices with even if a marker, I got a selection of markers, for example, and if several of them had dried up or run out, I couldn't buy new markers, right? So I was using interesting color combinations, which is how I really got into mixing pastels with neon in some of my artwork, which I've really come to sort of enjoy quite a bit, especially neon yellow with pastel colors in my artwork as a highlight, which is really fun. I'll show you examples in my sketchbook, actually. When I did Drawloween last year, and Drawloween is very much upon us again because Mab Graves released the prompts for Drawloween, the October art challenge. So, for example, this is very neon though, this one. So my thumbnailing it on the other side. But so like this one with its purples, pastel purples, looks brighter in the camera. And then you can't really see, but that yellow is like neon yellow. There's a Lamort. So yeah, it helped me it fostered this interesting art choices for me that I've come to really enjoy. So yeah. And then just stuff. So let's just have a look at the chat. Robin's Lenormand deck. So I was just totally fell off the tarot oracle wagon. In what sense, Billy? If you're still here, I spy the spookalicious. What's the spookalicious? What's terrible news? I was fully committed to that decision. I'd unsub from those newsletters. I always see what you mean. Last day to watch Penny Dreadful on USA Netflix is September 16th. Oh, so it is going off soon. Mew, 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 mew. So everyone's going to be panic watching Penny Dreadful if they've not watched it all yet. Baby Stew. What? I've missed something there. Oh, Baby Stew because of the Oracle deck. Mr. Stinky. Yeah, Patrick did grow up on Patrick Valenza. That's a good, I remember that. And I love his accent as well when I like listening to him talk. I don't know how to read Lenormand, but that deck could tempt me into the unknown. I do. I love Lenormand. I love its simplicity and sort of very groundedness. Let's see. You got the plastic Robins Lenormand. Cool. Bye, Sandra. You take care, my dear. Got to go, kids here. Bye, Candy. You take care. I should sign off because I've been live for an hour and a bloody half. Jesus Christ on a bicycle. What the fuck? Oh, dear. Let's see. Trio Fideluna, Marshmallow, Robledo. They are enough, says Tammy. Are those your 3 Marseille decks, Tammy? Polkar's Marseille. Yeah, it's not true Marseille though. It's Marseille inspired. I'd say it's very much it's definitely a pip deck. I'm doing KonMari gradually. What's been really helpful is gathering what you have into the same area. You really know what you have and can really focus. Yeah, I've KonMari'd a bunch of stuff. People really misrepresent or misunderstand Marie Kondo. People go, minimalism is not for me. And she's not all about minimalism. She's literally just about surrounding yourself with things that you enjoy and really love so that you appreciate everything. If you have 1,000 books and every single one of them sparks joy, keep the 1,000 books. Like, she doesn't care. She's just like, she's trying to help you sort of get rid of what does not serve you, right? So there. And also people take the piss out of her, like thanking the things. They're like, oh, why am I thanking stuff? I'm not talking about people here, but just like people that I've seen generally just criticizing, failing to completely misunderstand that the background that she's coming from. She literally used to work in a Shinto temple, which obviously is a sort of very animist belief system. So that's where she's coming from when she's talking about thanking and honoring the items that you're letting go. You're thanking them for the service that they have provided you, even if that is to learn that you actually don't need them or whatever, or like them even. Bye, gal. You take care. And finding things around the house that you haven't used. No new buying. That was the intent of the original. Yeah, that's true. I've been a reader for 40 years and only had 3 decks back then and did many readings. It's only been in the last 5 years I've added so many decks. Yeah, for me, it's definitely been the last 6-7 years I've really added. I love the whole organization side of it, and now stuff, books, clothes and decks. So if I think I want something now, I can quickly and easily check if I have space for something. Yeah, like I really use her system of like folding stuff away, like all the clothes in my like my sock drawer and stuff like that. They're all that folded, stood up, so you can just grab everything. Even to this day, I mean, I KonMari'd a bunch of stuff several years ago, and I've stuck with it. Like I always have been very into refining my wardrobe because I worked in fashion for a long time. That was my original training. So I've always been very into doing it for my wardrobe. But yeah, for other stuff, it was really good to sort of apply it to my whole life. Andrea, hello. I've been watching you only for a couple of minutes, but I'm already so motivated to do my art. Yes, arting is good. Enjoy the art. I'm going with Arttober rather than the original after the drama. Yeah, I saw a bit about the drama about Inktober last year, Billy, or the year before. I usually do Mab's Drawloween because it's spooky. And I have no dexterity to draw, then read about it and watch a tutorial. Where do you find the prompts for Drawloween? I've seen Inktober. It's Mab Graves. She's an artist. Let me see if I can find the link for you. Let's see, Mab Graves Instagram, and I'll find the Drawloween post for you. Bit of an itchy nose. Okay, and she does what she's done the last couple of years is that she has provided. Oh, hang on. Let me go into. I'm going into my Instagram account. She provides a prompt for all 31 days of October, but the last 2 years she's also provided prompts for just if you want to do it every 3 times a week or just weekly for those people that don't have the time or they're a bit overwhelmed by the idea of every single day. So I did my own kind of version last year. Hang on, let me find Mab Graves. There she is. She's one of my favorite like lowbrow pop surrealist artists. So here's the link, and you can click through and she'll have the different versions. So like the daily, or every other day, or 3 times a week, and then weekly. So that should come up for you. But I did my own version where I wanted to do 2 a week last year because I was still very much overwhelmed. So I did. These are mine. So I just picked my favorite. Okay, it should be working. My internet dropped out. It's been really, it was really patchy yesterday and the day before. It seems that if it's really rainy, our internet will drop out quite a bit. If it's really windy, our internet will drop out quite a bit. If it's really hot, our internet will drop out quite a bit. So our internet is really temperamental. It does not like extremes of weather. It's really annoying, but it's working. But I was planning on wrapping up anyway. So yeah, because I showed all my spooky and spoopedics. So maybe Kelly is kicking something her end to try and come back. Yes, I was. I just had to wait for my stupid router to start again. Yeah, it's just being very temperamental. Somewhere in time to Caroline, did you watch the new Cruella? I haven't. It's now gone off of the bit where you have to pay extra for it. I'm not really that bothered by it, to be honest, because quite frankly, the costuming department really did not do anywhere near as good a job as the Glenn Close versions. They did 2 films, didn't they? And I'm just not that bothered. Apparently, it's sort of very much wow. I hate dogs because something. And well, I know the sort of why she hates dogs or something, and I'm just like, I'm really not into what's the word? Sort of like the more. I've only seen the first Maleficent film, but the humanization of Maleficent made sense. But from what I hear, like the trying to sort of humanize Cruella, who's actually just really not a very nice person, doesn't work as well. So support passing you the Doc Martens to kick the box. I've got my own Doc Martens. So yeah. So anyway, I was literally just I was gonna wrap up before I just started showing the bits from my sketchbook, because I was showing my own prompts for. I've put the link for Mab's Drawloween for this year, so do check it out if that's something that you're interested in. Oh my god, I've talked myself hoarse. So yeah, I probably should go and try and sew some pouches. Well, my brain dribbles out of my ears in this heat. And get a top up of my water. So I won't be able to sew these pouches today. There's too many. I can never sew this many in one day, especially in this heat. But yeah, and I'm still waiting on my bat charms that I ordered over a month ago. Apparently they are waiting inspection at customs. I'm like, what? I thought I ordered them from the UK, but I didn't. So it's my own fault for not double checking. I'm trying alcohol markers. They are by my stationery island. They're great. Yeah. Oh, really? Cool. Which brand are they? Because I've got some original letter sets, which then also I've got the Windsor. These are from my fashion design days when I was doing my degree. And then I've got the Winsor Newton Pro markers. I've got the Copic Chows. And then I've got some Spectrum Noirs, which I don't really like. But yeah, I've got a number of alcohol markers that I use. Too hot for the sewing machine. Those lamps they do, but oh my god, they get so hot. Yeah, my sewing machine is sitting over there saying, why won't you use me? I'm like, it's too warm, okay? When you sign off, I'm going to read. Still a couple of hours before work. Oh my goodness, what time is it where you are? Goodness me, it really must be the crack of dawn. Tea time. Too hot for tea at this point. I think I'm just going to have a pint of water. Oh, Gerald, hello. I see that. You there, Tarot Stash? The brand is it's called Stationery Island. Oh, okay. Oh, by Stationery Island. I thought you meant that they were by your Stationery Island, as in that you had a little island in the middle of your craft room that had stationery in it, because that's a thing. Thanks for the live. Plug in a fan. We don't even have a fan. I know. Every summer I said to my husband, we should order a fan. He goes, yeah, pick one. And then I pick one. I go, there we go. And then we never order it. Because then by the time we're going to get around to ordering it, the heat wave is over. Do you see what I mean? I have to get back to my classroom. Okay, hello. It's sounding a tad rowdy in there. Going to get the kiddies outside before the storm hits. Oh my God. Good luck in these very scary times being a teacher. Goodness me. I'll put you a link in the reply to the video. Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to put a link because I don't know if Facebook allows that, or I might have to approve the comment. I'll check. But yeah, I'm going to sign off because I need some water and I need a wee. And I feel like I've gotten not hyperactive, but I've gotten a bit like, and I need, I'm worried I've used up all my energy to be able to play Dungeons and Dragons this evening. So I'll probably have a caffeinated beverage. Oh no, it's 3:30. Kelly Fitzgerald is going live in half an hour to do live crafting. And I wanted to see if I could jump in on that and see, because I haven't been in any of her lives for ages, because she keeps going live at random times when I'm not on YouTube. Like I might be, a lot of the time it's evening time and I'm either in bed, or it's in the evening when I'm sitting and watching a film with my husband. There's random times. So I never catch her lives anymore. I used to catch them all the time. So I'm going to try and jump in on that if I don't completely flag and have to go and have a nap over there. Ground and center, I will. I'm going to go and sit at my altar and just bring it down a bit. But yeah, thank you to everyone that came and popped into this very rather long, definitely time to go, this very rather long rambly live chat. Oh yeah, I was going to do a walkthrough of the Squid Cake Marseille, but I haven't, so never mind, another time. And thank you to the new faces that I saw. We had a bit of a rough bit in the middle there, but we managed to ignore and persevere. Those of you who are here from the beginning know what I mean. So words melting. Yes, melting indeed. So you all take care of yourself. Wear a mask, socially distance, get your jab, all that jazz. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you in the next one, wherever that will be. Wherever that will be. It'll be here, whenever that will be. Take care of yourselves. Ciao.